When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Welcome. Thank you for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Danny came in here. I haven't seen a human being eat that fast since I sat with Jackson, my oldest son, who's 6'7" and has lost weight. I think he's lost almost 30 pounds. He's back to his high school weight of 250.
Wait a minute. He was at 280?
Yeah, he was 284.
He was at 250 in high school.
He was at 250 in high school. It's like 6.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 6'6".
The Bills are having tryouts. I mean, does he want to play tight end?
I know.
Forrest Jackson.
Jameson used to be so mean to him.
Jameson?
Such a waste of height and size. It's so bad. So I'd be like, whoa. Yeah, but you woofed that down, that Chipotle. Are you a Chipotle fan? I like Chipotle.
Yeah,
I get the
occasionally.
protein.
This is like my once a quarter Chipotle visit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like Chipotle. It's real food.
Yes, I usually get their protein bowl.
Oh, do you?
I go, yeah.
Yeah, I got the burrito because it was easier and quicker, and we had a podcast to do, so I wanted to get it down.
I got like a hair issue happening. Let's go.
My hair is just getting in the way. Why don't we get the fan out, Bill? Yeah.
Danny's wearing a Miami Hurricane hat. I believe dropping soon will be a Billified bite. And it is me and Al Blades Jr., who played wide receiver and special teams for Miami, had a tryout with the Jets and is now part of the Hayek Motors 37 car team. He's a tire guy.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they train and they do all this stuff. And it's amazing. I didn't realize, he was telling me, because he said, I just didn't want to go back through all this stuff. And he says in the interview, my heart just isn't in it. And I'm like,
if your heart's not in it,
you're going to be,
you get hurt.
Yeah. So he said, I'm so happy to be, part of this. But I stupidly, and I will cut an intro to the piece after we're done here, but I stupidly never asked, like, how did you get into NASCAR? Because we kept having to stop because the cars are flying by. I'm interviewing him during the race.
Yeah.
I had mics, so you'll be able to hear everything. But it was interesting. And but he said that the practice guys are they making $290,000 a year
on the practice squad?
He said that now, because I said I thought it was just like,
I thought that was the league minimum,
30 or 40,000. And he goes, no, he said, I think they just raised the league minimum to like 400
for the league minimum, meaning if you're on an active roster. If you're on the practice squad,
I mean, he's saying practice squad guys.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never paid attention.
He said practice squad guy. I had no idea.
That's a lot of money for a practice squad, dude.
That's what I thought.
Because back in the 90s, they made $5,000 a week at the practice squad.
Yeah.
But you only got paid from week 1 to week 17, and that was it.
Well, that may be the same.
Could be the equivalent.
But now, he's saying it's like.
So if with inflation, everything, he might be right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about the practice squad, though. You could lose your gig at any moment.
Right.
So that's $290, but that's not a guaranteed $290. It's prorated. If you make the entire year, then you probably get $290.
Yeah. We'll find out some more. Our friend Greg Connors will be in next week, and we'll talk a little.
Be good to talk to Greg.
Yeah, be nice to talk to Greg.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
I haven't.
He has thoughts.
Oh, he's got them. He'll share
about
them.
a lot of stuff.
He'll share them. I have thoughts too, Danny. I was reminded today of a word that I don't know that I fully understand, and the more I thought about it, the more I can't say. I guess I can. Annoyed or frustrated I got with it, because I think it's a word that I think we use a lot of therapy words these days.
Yes, we do.
And
we all try to sound smarter than we are.
Well, it's what is toxic? Okay?
Oh, I thought you were going to use a word like Riz or cap
no,
or mid.
No, because I've had somebody say to me before, well, the relationship was toxic. And I looked right at the person and I said,
What does that mean?
I don't know. I said, I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay.
I said, I don't know what that means. And look, I'm being serious. Define it. Like, without using a therapy word, define that. And that's where, because I just don't think most people know it. The word feels scientific, right?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like emotional bleaching to me, but it's vague enough.
It's a coverall.
Well, it is, right? Because you
think about the degrees of toxicity that toxic could be.
Exactly. Okay. So you could have someone who's annoying.
Yeah.
You could have someone who's emotionally reactive,
Mm-hmm.
Needy, jealous,
abusive,
avoidant, intense. Yes.
Or idiosyncratic,
clingy,
which is none of those. But yeah.
But clingy,
Mm-hmm.
controlling is one for sure.
Ugly,
angry, emotional in any way, opinionated, difficult during conflict, toxic,
egotistical.
Well, it often becomes someone whose emotional style I don't like. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I would think. I think it would be, and the more I thought about it, I go, I'll ask you this: have you ever been called toxic?
Me?
Yes.
Not to my face.
Well, I mean,
I did go out on a girl once who said I was a little bit negative.
Oh, well,
and I was like,
different.
And I went back and replayed the conversation in my head. I go, okay, yeah, I could see that. And I tried to tone it down. But toxic, no.
I don't think
every one of my,
I don't know.
Almost every one of my exes has told me what a great guy I was.
Have you ever labeled somebody toxic?
Yes.
You have?
Oh, clearly.
Okay.
You know who. My first wife.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I don't
was
like
it fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. It was fair to the point where,
and you said it after the breakup, though.
Yeah. Well, I said it during. I said it in the midst. I said it after. And to be honest with you, by the way, I've used that term with 2 women in my life.
Okay.
Just 2.
Your mom and?
No.
Oh, I'm kidding.
But I've used that term twice. But the first time it was you and Tommy and Rich and Sally who were like, dude, she's toxic.
Did we all say that?
Oh, yeah. At different times.
Yeah.
Like, run.
Yeah.
Run. Now, there were other times you told me to run on certain women, but I would classify them as toxic.
No.
They weren't just good fits.
Well, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Is toxic just incompatibility?
No.
Okay.
To me, if you're going to use the word toxic, they better be like one step away from committing some type of crime.
Well, here's the thing. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying
I don't want to classify, because you could classify anybody as toxic that you disagree with.
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
Because I go, not every failed relationship has a villain. It just doesn't. So you could have 2 insecure people who collide, right? And all of a sudden, and usually when you hear the term toxic, it's coming from somebody talking about an ex.
Yes.
And I always have to kind of step back and go, And I just think it's one of these ones that, I don't know. You'd label somebody that, and I think it can hurt their reputation.
Yes.
That's the part that I don't like.
Well, that's where you get into the Me Too territory, right? And you find out, oh, so you weren't really Me Too.
Right.
You were just ugly.
Well, I can't.
Bill, I've seen some of the women who did Me Too. And nobody was doing
If one person pursues and the other withdraws and the person keeps pursuing, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, that person's toxic. They're crazy. And you go, I don't know. Or you have communication styles that clash, or the timing is wrong on things, or somebody avoids conflict and somebody gets all up in their emotions. It's not always toxic.
No, it's not. It's not. But toxic has become that catch-all where everybody like, oh yeah, me too. I was in a toxic relationship, and maybe you were, but when you repeatedly date toxic people over and over again, maybe the problem
is you.
Maybe you're the common denominator. Not always.
No. But that's a very, very fair point, because I'm thinking a lot of times it's too, and I would say emotionally immature. Call it emotionally underdeveloped people who just can't figure it out. And so one of them, you're just trying not to drown, so to speak, and then one of them is going to be labeled toxic. And I go, some people aren't toxic. They're not. They're just wounded in a way that collides badly with your wounds.
Yes.
And so therefore, that's it. Right?
Can you just use the word incompatible?
You're wounded, he's wounded. Yeah, exactly.
Instead of using the word toxic, please.
Right. Yeah.
Because right now men have just said enough with women. They're just like, all right, the heck with it. You're not worth the headache anymore. I'm seeing more and more of this stuff on social media.
Really?
Where guys are like, listen, if I'm going to lose half of everything, it better be worth it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, think about it. Guys have everything to lose.
Yes. Right.
So more and more men are like, nope, forget it. I know 3 guys in my own life who are like, yep, nope, forget it.
Forget what?
Not getting married.
Not getting married.
Not doing it.
Yeah. Well,
not signing a prenup. I'm not even taking the chance.
I
feel terrible for them because you don't want to grow old and alone.
Well,
and you don't want to buy them or get the milk without buying the cow either. What? I'm not comparing a woman to a cow. It's a phrase, Billy.
I understand what it is.
It's like you're not committing.
But my thing is, if you're in a relationship where you're spending a lot of time together, or you are each other's identified person, we'll say that, you're not just dating, but you're the identified person. Yeah, I don't see where that's wrong. I can understand not necessarily getting married, but I also think that you're right. You don't want to be necessarily alone. What you don't want are all the pitfalls that you either experienced in the past or you have heard about. And I'm going to say most of the guys that you're talking about probably have been in a relationship at some point in their lives. The guys that you're saying will say,
oh yeah.
So
yes. And they were like, yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? I'm done.
Right. But go back on that one a little bit and say some of it could be you.
Yeah,
you know,
it could go the other way too.
100%. Some of it could be that.
I'm not saying it's
no
one-sided toward women.
No, but there are things that, I this morning I saw a dry bar comedy piece, and I didn't last through the whole thing. I had a bunch of stuff going on, but I hit it because a dry bar I like. Are you familiar with dry bar?
I've never heard that. No.
Dry bar. I think it started in Salt Lake. It's become
of course, Mormons.
Pretty big deal. Well. Yeah, and I
drinking without drinking.
I think that's where they film a lot of it. But it's stand-up comics, and they're really clean, and it's funny, really funny stuff,
like Jerry Seinfeld style almost.
Yeah. So this guy was doing like typical bit. He's like, I've been married 33 years. He goes, I don't know what I would do without her. Women have a great amount of knowledge, and she held this knowledge back until we were married. And then he goes, now it's like there's sometimes I see her and I try to avoid her because I'm not ready for the midterm. You know what I mean? And he's like, I learned not to wear my shoes in the house.
Right. We interviewed former Bills coach Doug Marrone.
Yeah.
And he talked about his wife being a prosecutor. He goes, I can't win an argument with this.
No.
She's a former prosecutor.
Right.
It's like, okay. Right.
Yeah. And so it was kind of funny, but that's where, like, again, you got to flex and adjust. You got to flex and adjust.
Everybody does.
In some way.
Yeah.
Not everybody is putting out their best, their total selves when you're getting to know each other. It's like 2 dogs sniffing around, and then you figure it out. But my thing is, like, when I hear the word toxic, and I heard it today, and I'm like, boy, that is to me such a loaded word. And then I go, well, everything now is a therapy word. Everybody's a narcissist. They're gaslighting me. I don't think people understand what gaslighting really is.
Yeah, they just see the memes on Facebook and go, that's me.
I can tell you, gaslighting isn't really a therapy term at all. But it is, it's kind of like where it's almost like
it's a buzzword.
It is. It's a real term that has a real meaning.
Yes.
Where it's somebody who's trying to get a reaction out of you, like bringing you in. It's almost like a Socratic argument that comes around, but trauma is one that we hear a lot. And
I've stored trauma in my spine that I need to. No, that's not true. I've looked at it.
Maybe they do.
You may have stored trauma in your mind, but it's not in your spine.
Well, it might be in your spine. It could be in your chakras. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, if you went to like Iraq or something, okay, I get that.
No, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. Right. Boundaries. I think we've talked about that. You hear triggered. And then,
I hate that word.
Toxic, unsafe. And I just think
safe space.
Well, we shoot this stuff out without understanding
what they are.
Well, half of it, I'll say, people don't. We used to need a psychologist to diagnose this. Now you get your cousin with a Ring camera and a podcast, and he, after the family reunion, they give you your whole life diagnosis. It's crazy. it's just one of these things that I don't know why it just really kind of resonated with me, because I feel like, again, and I'm saying it over and over, it's a loaded word. And, it's like everybody's toxic now. Your ex isn't toxic. Your boss isn't toxic. Your dog wants boundaries. Everybody, everybody in your life needs something. And I'm like, okay, some people, they don't need a relationship. They need an HR department.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
These are symptoms of a bigger problem, Billy.
Well,
I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is, Billy.
What is it?
Main character syndrome.
It could be. It very well could be. I don't.
Not only do we have issues, but we have to share them with the world.
Well, we do.
There's an open diary, branded growth, as you like to call it.
Yeah, branded growth, I would say. But here's the thing, like I was saying to you, when somebody gets labeled toxic, you stop listening to them, sort of, maybe. I don't know, unless you can see past it. Any kind of nuance seems to just kind of slide by and no one pays attention. And that's where I'm like, I don't know if I like that. Even if it's like the word toxic boss. Okay. A lot of bosses can be clipped and abrupt, right? They're the boss. They're overseeing everything. And by the way, the buck stops with them, so to speak,
right?
Depending on what it is.
They're
right?
The last line of defense.
Right. So to me, it's like context then disappears when you throw that around. Accountability becomes very one-sided. And I'm like, I don't think that. I go, a person can behave badly. A person can struggle emotionally. Doesn't mean that they're toxic.
Right.
You communicate poorly. Doesn't mean you're toxic. A reactive, avoidant, all these things. And I don't know. There's some evil poisoned mind.
And then once somebody gets,
you would think that
once somebody gets labeled with that, it's like being labeled a racist almost, right?
Well,
now all of a sudden it's like, well, now the burden of proof is on the person who's been labeled the toxic one, the racist one, and it's like their reputation is shot.
Well, here's, I don't know why, and I've thought this for a long time about this word. It only kind of reemerged when somebody used the term toxic today. And I didn't say anything. I just was like, oh, all right, I don't know what they're talking about. But I wanted to go, all these things run through my head. And I thought, I don't know if I've ever been referred to as toxic. I have no idea. I don't. And there's a part of me that doesn't care, because I always figured no matter what happens to you in life, people will know who you really are if you're authentic and genuine, and you just show up as the same person every time. And believe me, I've had all kinds of stuff hurled my way.
Oh yeah, me too.
But and here's the other thing: sometimes people will behave, I'll call it badly. You behave badly. It could be a moment, it could be something, but they're anxious, right? So what happens when people are anxious?
They start spinning, they start talking really fast, they act out, or they start drinking or self-medicating.
Someone who's scared, kind of the same thing. If you're feeling abandoned or you had abandonment issues, insecure, addicted, all these things can lead to bad behavior. Even one that I think is, I wonder how much more we'll see of this, but I don't know. I really don't, because I think that there's a lot more talk of emotions and feelings and all that stuff and recognizing them. But I think that there's a lot of emotional immaturity in people.
Oh yes.
And I would say,
well, we just came out with the term emotional, or EQ, emotional intelligence, maybe in the last 15 years. When like you and I growing up never heard that term.
No, but right. And so I'm thinking, like, I think probably men are emotionally immature. And the reason I'll say that is you were never told it was okay to feel your emotions or talk about your emotions and understand what they are. You would get these big feelings, right? And so what do? You get angry, right? And you explode.
Because that's what you were shown.
Right. And so then what happens there? If that's kind of a consistent pattern, you may get labeled toxic.
Yeah, it's learned behavior.
Right.
But then there's the flip side too, where people, I think with I don't know about Xers like you, but maybe like my generation, I'm between X and millennial. Guys didn't grow up. They lived in a state, there were more and more people living in a state of arrested development. like playing the video games, the Star Wars crap.
But even there, that doesn't mean
not needing to grow up like our parents needed to grow up a lot quicker than we did.
I understand that, but I think you can still be emotionally mature and still a guy who does.
I think you can, but I think that's also part of it. That's the other side of it.
It could be. I just think the bigger thing, the more I think about it, is like, I am sure that there's a lot of guys my age that are emotionally immature, that don't know how to really handle things or have a conversation or confront something. And look, this is not to excuse behavior.
No.
I am in no way doing that. But it explains why reducing it all to one word, one label,
is toxic.
Is yes.
And it's more importantly, it's dangerous.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's dangerous.
It is. Are you reading my notes?
No.
Okay.
No, I think you and I are just on the same wavelength today.
Yeah. And to me,
wait till we talk about the Sabres. I'm just joking.
Toxic is a convenient word.
Yes.
Because it removes all the complexity.
Yep.
All the nuance.
We love to put everything in a box.
All the nuance, all the complexity. And so once someone is labeled toxic, you no longer have to understand them.
Here, I want to give you a little dichotomy a little bit. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Who's funnier, Pierce Brosnan or Robin Williams? This is an easy one.
I mean, from what we've seen,
yes,
I would say Robin Williams.
Okay. Who's better looking?
And again, you would say Pierce Brosnan.
Okay. Sally Field made a comment about Mrs. Doubtfire when they filmed.
Yeah.
She said she didn't think Robin Williams was funny.
Yeah.
But she thought Pierce Brosnan was hilarious.
Yeah.
Somebody said, yeah, because he's suave.
Yeah.
He's James Bond.
Yeah.
He's good looking. And Robin Williams he's probably always on and being goofy, but Robin Williams does not look like Pierce Brosnan. This is Sally Field we're talking about. She's worked with like Burt Reynolds and all.
Yeah.
She was the one who said, you left me. You really left me.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously?
Well,
she didn't find Robin Williams funny at all.
I think
Pierce Brosnan was.
I think that okay, but you got to understand the context of that. I think, and I'm gonna defend her statement.
Okay,
and just hear me out.
I will.
I think Robin Williams is like majority of people who are in comedy. You are damaged in some way, and you have severe insecurities. You really do. So if Sally Field's there and you're in makeup a lot to get that costume on and you shoot a couple scenes, you probably weren't hanging out a whole lot. Pierce Brosnan, on the other hand, is welcomed everywhere he goes because of his face, his lilt and his Irish accent, the way he walks into a room, the style he dresses.
Oh, he was George Clooney before George Clooney.
You got it. And I think that he probably was flirtatious and funny, and when he gets hit in the back of the head with the lemon when he's running by the Mrs. Doubtfire,
it's out of character. So
right. So but everything. So I just think there, when you're charming, I wouldn't. I would bet the guy's hilarious to hang out with. 100%. I would totally believe that he's Irish. I mean, I get it. You can't grow up in an Irish family and not at least have a sense of humor. I'm not going to say you're funny, but you definitely have a sense of humor and have learned some things. So I can totally see where she probably did, because Robin probably kept a little bit to himself and was probably not hanging out afterwards because all that makeup and stuff, and to get the Mrs. Doubtfire mask off and down, it was probably. I guess
my point is that like women will give the good-looking guy the benefit of the doubt.
I know what everybody's going to say in that thing, that they're going to give the good-looking guy the benefit of the doubt in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to people who worked with him on, Mork and Mindy. They
hated him.
They did?
Oh, they hated Robin.
I thought the woman loved him.
Oh, maybe she did. But like there were stories about him like having an edge. Like he was.
Well, he was high on cocaine.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't the easiest to work. They did a TV movie about that whole experience.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
But I mean, but my point was being like
I know what you're saying.
The good-looking guy is not the creep, but if a bad-looking guy behaves the same way as a good-looking guy, he's a creep, right? Those big labels. That's my point.
We've talked about this often, right? Where somebody walks into a bar. Like if I went into a place where my sons hang out, who are in their early 20s, early to mid-20s, and I started hitting on women, what am I?
You're a creep, an old creep.
An old creep. If I go to a different bar and I have the same kind of behavior,
Taylor's,
Okay. I wouldn't be a creep.
Yeah.
I would be funny and charming, and you know what I mean? And you get away with stuff. But I wouldn't, you have to know your audience. And I understand what that story like highlights. The good looking guy gets away with more than the guy who isn't good looking. But I really would think that it's a context thing. And had she done a movie where Robin wasn't in makeup, there probably would have been a lot more funny stuff.
Okay.
For her, you know, because I think the movie itself was, you know, it was funny. It was funny. It was different. And it was a charming story. It was about a father trying to spend as much time with his children with circumstances of life that were preventing that. I don't know. It's just like, I'm always going to try to find the other side, but I get
that's
it.
Good though. That's good.
I get it. I get that.
To bring it back home, you hear the word toxic. I want to find out why. Give me the other side. Let me measure this on my own so that I know if this person is or is not toxic, especially if they're a known person or someone I know. That doesn't sound like Bill. That doesn't sound like Kevin. That doesn't sound like okay, it would sound like Mark Hillman. But I'm just joking. But the point is though, is that like, really? I look at them sideways when I hear the word toxic. I don't care who it is.
Well, the internet loves labels, because labels end conversations.
Yes.
And real life is messier than hashtags. That's all I
it is.
You know what I mean? It just is. And there's more nuance to it. So you could have a person like, when I'll always go toxic, but toxic to who or whom, right? A romantic, terrible romantic partner. I don't know if they're toxic or not, but terrible.
Or they just finish fast.
Right. But they, well, okay. But they could be a great, an incredible.
Honey, that was great.
Okay. An incredible friend, right? They could be a great parent. They could be an awful communicator, right? It's nuance. It's layered.
Oh, yeah. Great father and a terrible husband.
You could have a loyal employee who's emotionally reactive under stress.
Yeah.
Right? I did that. I still do that.
I did too.
You know?
I did too.
Yeah. And I go, to me, people are not universally toxic. So be careful when you throw that label around. Because you may be angry at that moment and it just fits, right?
The state we're in determines the emotion and the label that we throw at things.
Right. And I think human beings change depending on environment and relationship dynamics. That's it. That's all. So, you know, some people bring out your best. Some people bring out the version of you that texts paragraphs at 1:17 a.m. I know. You know what I'm saying? Right? And I mean, that's just what happens.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I
don't mean to go all boys to men.
No, but look, I get it. And okay. Or there's something we'll get into next in a moment here, but yeah, because you can take it too far where you become somewhat of a danger or whatever. But I'm going, I don't want people to think I don't think toxic people exist. I do. Some people are really manipulative.
Oh, yeah.
And abusive. And cruel and controlling. And they can be very destructive. They can be destructive to your self-esteem. They can be destructive to your social circles. They could be all kinds of. But I think the word gets used too quickly. And that's my point. We're using it too quickly now because it feels, I don't know, emotionally satisfying.
Yeah, and it's dangerous and it's irresponsible.
It ends the conversation.
Your words matter.
Right. So, you know, maybe instead of labeling everybody toxic, we'd be better off asking what actually happened between these two people, which is what you said, right? I want to know the other side of the story. And nobody thinks they're the toxic one.
Oh, yeah. I've had people call me names, and then when I confronted them, they're like, yeah, you're just a douche.
Yeah.
And I can use that term because you can't back up what you said about me.
Right.
That gave me a reputation of being whatever you said you said I was.
So this is my point. Sometimes the relationship was not toxic. Sometimes it's two people just triggering each other until love turned into emotional dodgeball, and now we're down the road and it just doesn't work. And the only reason it stuck with me was because I heard the word again today, and I thought, I remember saying to someone in the past, they're like, well, the relationship was toxic. And I went, I don't know what that means. because I don't. Doesn't it just means like we were incompatible. That I can get.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't deal with certain aspects of the personality when I found it. That I can get. But toxic, I go, God, it's such a catch-all to me, terrible one, and I'd love to see it sort of disappear.
I'm with you, Bill.
That's it.
No, so words we will no longer use. We should have a bad word jar.
Well, okay, but I don't want people to think I'm going to say, well, toxic people don't exist. They do. I'm not saying that. They do.
But bring the evidence, OJ.
But you know, I'd have to see more. And just because somebody has an emotional reaction to something, even though they're a great parent and good employee, but a bad romantic partner, doesn't make them necessarily toxic. Do they need to fix their emotional instability? Fuck yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's that. All right, we'll take a moment.
OJ Simpson, toxic? We have evidence.
I would say, look, I think you can't say no to that answer. Right. But I don't know, because I'm going to say, I don't know that I can answer it. And I mean, what the fuck? I think that OJ Simpson was this charming person that had a big personality and was fun to be around and did things that most men wished they were able to do. And then because of that, had doors opened up to him and opportunities. But there was a side of him that was super, super obviously insecure and controlling, and he could not put an emotional regulator on it. He just couldn't do it. And whatever happened that night, happened that night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't know, you'd love to know if it was drug fueled in some way, because, you know, but there were reports of abusing and everything else. So I guess we could say, certainly he was an abuser. He had abused her before.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, toxic, I think that one may fit. That one may fit.
I'm just trying to make the point.
I understand.
Example, they do exist.
Yes.
It's just that, but if you're going to label OJ, think about like OJ Simpson. If you want to label him as toxic, then reevaluate the term when you talk about somebody else being, quote, toxic. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Because it casts a wide net, man.
Yeah. We'll take a moment there. We'll get into something else that sort of goes along. Like, would this person be toxic or emotionally immature or having their wounds rubbed the wrong way, so to speak? We'll get into that right after this. Oh, feeling rather toxic.
Are you? Like OJ toxic or?
No, like I ate something bad.
Yeah, like number two toxic.
Might have a little bit of food poisoning.
Yeah. Oh, where? From where?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. No, I do not. I did not feel toxic. But there is a story that I saw on the local news. People will know the name. Some people will know the name. You have to be in certain circles. But Dave or David, his name is David. David Daddy Dave Comstock. And he is from the Street Outlaws.
Okay.
It's a show. I think they film it in Oklahoma City. I'm pretty sure. But it's all these illegal streetcars and drag racing.
Oh.
I mean, they made a show out of it. He was arrested in Bath, New York, which is not far from where we sit today.
Mm-hmm. You're corning.
Yeah.
Was he stealing glass?
No. No.
Campers?
No.
Because they have Bath is known for glassworks and campers.
And I thought they said salt. I thought salt was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the salt mine there?
Salt, yes. No, there are salt mines. Yes.
There probably is bad bath salts there too. I don't know.
The kind of like from 15 years ago that made people flip out.
I think I have to do something for school, and I may end up in Bath working with people. I'll leave it there.
All right.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
So police say he placed a GPS tracking device underneath a vehicle to track someone's location. Well, they got to
Was it a toxic ex?
Well, it's a great question. No one's saying. I know people who know him on a personal level. I've sat down and had dinner and things with him, so I can't. Flip is happening. I can't. I don't know myself, but I've heard what do people say if they like you?
No, he's a good guy. I don't believe it.
Great guy.
He's a great guy.
Great guy. Good guy.
GFG.
Yeah. So they saw him go up to somebody's car and obviously they caught it on a ring cam or something, and they went through, and authorities say security footage, I'll call it ring cam, captured him near the vehicle, and an order of protection has been issued. That's it. I don't know that he. You
down with OOP?
Right. What's terrifying in this story to me, the most, is 20 years ago. And I think, I mean, I don't know. Go back to 2006.
I was 26.
Okay, and
young,
so you were dating,
vibrant. Yeah,
you were dating. Okay.
I was.
If somebody was obsessed with you, they had to physically drive around. They had to drive around your house.
Yeah.
Right? And they look like a lunatic. You could see.
Oh, yeah. It's a Jim Blossom song. Found out about you.
Yeah. But every, it is usually the guy or maybe girl. I don't know. Probably girl too. In the 80s, there was even like a movie trope.
Yes.
Was it not?
Oh, yeah.
Like they did it. They were driving by. There he goes again. Oh, he's back and forth.
Remember that Modern Family where Manny tried to impress a girl by driving a car, and then he had to figure out how to get it in reverse? Get off the street. But so he had to go backwards.
my point is so you had to do that. You had to put some effort in.
Yeah.
You really had to do some work if you were going to make someone uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Now for $29.99. $29.99 and a couple YouTube tutorials.
AirPods.
You too.
Or airdrops.
Can drop a GPS. Yeah, the airdrops. Put that in there. Put an air tag in. Right? And you turn it into an emotional dog the bounty hunter. I mean, that's what it does. And I get where this is not acceptable. I don't know the circumstances of Daddy Dave's from Street Outlaws story. And this isn't really about him. Technology has allowed emotional obsession to become incredibly sophisticated.
Oh, dude, it's every breath you take, 24/7, 365. You might as well just play that Sting song or the Police song over and over again.
Aren't you on some kind of location thing with your wife?
My wife has me, because she has anxiety.
No, I got it.
I think she, by the way, she goes, by the way, your average speed was 77 miles per hour last week.
Right. See, now that would drive me fucking nuts. And I'm sorry
I just want you to live,
it would drive me a little bit crazy. It just would. And I understand.
No, I mean, my wife,
and it's said with love.
Yes.
It's said with love.
Oh, she
But
cares.
you get me on the wrong moment and I'm pissed. And the next time I'm going to be doing 80 and giving you the finger, even though you can't
like
see
yesterday,
it.
right? I had the whole house clean when she got home.
Yeah.
And the first thing she says, you can't put these bamboo things in the dishwasher.
Well, you can't, dummy.
I know, but I forgot.
Don't put wood shit in the dishwasher.
I know, I forgot.
Oh, God.
Like, but all the stuff I did,
It's
the
like,
laundry,
Danny,
everything, that's the first thing I got to hear.
Every time you open your mouth, I go, still got house ape in them. They haven't got all the house ape out of you.
I'm working on it.
I'm teasing.
I know. But still, I mean, I cleaned the whole, that's the first thing you got to say. And then, how come you didn't do the sheets? I go, because I'm going to do those tomorrow so I can hang them up.
The sheets, you hang them to dry?
Well, no, because the cover. What do you call it? The
duvet?
comforter. Yeah, whatever that thing is that goes on the bed. The bedspread.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't dry those; it'll crinkle up.
Oh, I have
this particular version.
I have a big,
I was hurt, Bill.
I'm disappointed.
And this is while I was working too.
I should have waited till June, and I didn't. I took my big UGG comforter over to get it cleaned professionally because I'm not doing it. I'm not sitting there.
Yeah, well, I made the mistake once. House Ape Dan, putting one in the dryer, not thinking anything of it.
Changing. That's a great name now.
No, that's not fair. That's not true. In fact, not only is it not true, I was told by
H.A. Danny.
I was told by an older woman.
Oh, please.
On Mother's Day. You can ask my sister, my wife, my mother, and my mother-in-law, and my niece. They were all witnesses.
Okay.
You know, Dan has really gotten better looking with age.
Okay, that has nothing to do with
We
being a
could
house
get
ape.
nuked this week, and it will be a great week.
No, okay, I got it. I understand that.
I just got nothing to do, but house apes don't look good like I do.
House ape is a style of behavior. It is not the way you look.
Dude, do house apes clean an entire house?
Yes,
they just accidentally
they
put
do.
a bamboo drink cover in the dishwasher.
Hang on a second. A house ape will clean to their standard, but it won't meet the standard of others.
Oh, it meets my wife's standards.
Okay, because
I'm an excellent
I'm
cleaner.
into
I can be coverall cleaning
like,
concepts.
I do that with my kids, and I'll always say, don't do it to your standard, do it to mine. I said that to Jameson yesterday. You clean your room, you gotta get it to my standard. And then I said, and I'm coming in, and like I dust the windowsills, I get down on the baseboards, I do the vents. I don't know why. It's just something I do. And I time myself because I don't want to be cleaning all day. So when that alarm goes off, I'm done.
Right.
But I try to get it all done in there. But back to this thing.
Yes.
With technology, where we can track people, monitor locations, right? Even you can watch stories and things, and that'll tell you a lot about a person, what they're up to, right, from a distance. And I'm not saying like, because here's this came up. I saw this story. And it was shortly after the toxic discussion, toxic thoughts that I had. And no, let me rephrase that. The thoughts about the word toxic that I had.
Thoughts about the word.
Yes. And I go, at what point does some kind of concern, as you say with Beth, become a form of control? I'm not saying that about your
not
wife.
at all.
Please understand that. But I'm just saying.
She just pays attention to everything.
Okay. But in this situation, if someone's putting a GPS on your car,
every breath you take,
it would be, well, okay. So
you
would want to know, right? Now, does that mean the person's going to do anything about it? No, not necessarily. But they may think that you're cheating on them or lying to them in some way. And now they're going to have evidence. And if you're married, they have a case where the judge is going to be more on their side than your side if they can prove it. So I'm not saying like it's great. It is something to worry, but we can see now people send you text messages and they can see when they're read.
I didn't have that before on my old phone. Now I do.
I don't know if I have it or not. I wouldn't know if someone read a message or not. I figure if you reply, you reply. If you don't, you don't. Right. And I'll get it. I'll go. Okay.
I also get somebody who's perpetually replying. The dots keep showing up. I think their phone is like goofed, or my phone's goofed.
Okay.
It's like, it's been taking you 2 weeks to resend this message. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah. I mean, you can stalk digitally without ever speaking to the person. You don't have to. Right. And I think that a lot of times it's heartbreak, and modern heartbreak has now become CSI. You watch that show.
Actually, we watch NCIS, but yeah.
Oh, NCIS.
Same idea.
Yeah. And
why would somebody buy clothes that they were never going to wear? Yeah.
But this is like, okay, so this is where these things get complicated, because if somebody goes, well, I just wanted clarity. I wanted clarity. You told me you weren't cheating. You've been out late a couple nights a week. I see that. I can see where you are, or you turned off your location. Like, I could find you now. I can't. You turned off your location services, right? Or someone who the word, and it's another one. I don't know that I fully understand this word, closure. And I know that sounds like, what do you mean you don't know? Well, I know what it means. I just don't know how you get it or you do it with somebody. You just, to me, it's just like, okay, message volleyed back, or I hit it over the fence and it didn't come back. Okay, got it. There's my closure.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think. Or I had a feeling something was going on, right? Or I wanted the truth. And I don't know. Checking becomes stalking, tracking. We'll call it tracking.
Yeah, because stalking is one of those words like toxic, right?
Is.
Stalking somebody, it takes to a criminal element. Like, there's an element of surveillance that's not like driving inside by somebody's house isn't necessarily stalking. Like peeping through their windows and going through their underclothes. Oh, that could be stalking. Okay, so let's just we talked about toxic last segment. Stalking is another one of those words that has gotten a big general meaning.
Okay, one thing I wrote down when I was read the story, as I read it, I went, and I don't mean this about the person in the story. I mean this about people as a whole. Okay, take the whole of humanity. Technology has given emotionally unstable people superpowers.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
true.
it's given them superpowers. They can now see where you are and show up if they're in that frame of mind. And that can be kind of scary. But, I don't know, back to
Oh no, I just had a story. I know a guy who
do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I wrote that down and I went, ooh, that's heavy, because it is. You've taken somebody, and not everybody's emotionally unstable. That's not even fair either. But in a moment,
yes,
that's why there's things like temporary insanity.
Yes.
Okay. So in a moment where this is your person, you rely on them, and you think they're cheating, and you hear rumors, or you got such a gut feeling, you have an intuition, right? And so you put the GPS tracker on the car to see what's really going on, and then you get your answer. Now, an emotionally unstable person, OJ, I don't know that I like where that goes. I don't like where it goes.
This is the 90s, where we didn't even have nearly the technology we have now.
But I'm saying, but I don't even like where you put the GPS. Stop yourself there. Go find a friend. Tell your friend what you were going to do, and get the fuck.
Say it out loud.
Get them done. Get their friend to go. Don't do that.
Yes, say it out loud.
Don't do that.
Find a sponsor.
I was
for everything.
I was at a gala over the weekend, and a bottle of whiskey went up, and I kept bidding, kept bidding. And they had some real auctioneers at right,
like storage wars, right?
And so now the guy goes $5,000, and I went, and my friend goes, "Give me that fucking card. I'm gonna rip it up." And had he not said anything,
so he grabs it, he puts his
puts it out
$5,000.
What they were gonna do, what I think
that would have been a funny sitcom moment.
It was going up. We hit $5,000. And I think they were going to come up with 2 bottles if we each paid $5,000.
What kind of whiskey was this?
It was a whiskey I like.
For $5,000?
It was for a charity.
For $5,000?
It was for a charity. I can't.
For a charity?
Yeah. It's fine. I didn't do it. It didn't happen. I did push something out. I hardly spent anything when I left.
Little Jimmy will walk if you buy this bottle of whiskey, Bill.
Jesus is healing juice. Dan.
No, that's wine.
No, but this. Okay.
For $5,000 whiskey,
I think it got up to $5,000. It did. I don't think it got up to $5,000, and had somebody not screamed across the table going, "I'm gonna fucking
Billy
rip that."
Big Bucks.
Well, I didn't. It didn't happen. I'm just saying.
I'm glad.
Right. But my point is,
because by the end of the night, that bottle would have been gone.
I don't think
the fact that you said, I don't think so, leaves the door open for the possibility that could happen.
Yeah. Sure. I can't say it's out of the question.
Who's going for their master's in psychology right now?
Well, this is why.
You talk to me.
But by the way, hang on. See, this is what I have to say to people, because I had an interesting conversation today with a guy, and he's like, "I thought that was you, but I wasn't sure." And I said what I'm doing, and the answer was how, or like why or how, and I just go, it was a unique way. It was a unique way. It was not something I saw coming, and I'm glad I did it. And I will tell you, if let's say I did nothing with this, nothing, I came to a greater understanding of who I am and what wounds I have. And I don't know that everything's healed, but I see myself more clearly, and I realize this ride that we're on is not about other people. It's about us and how we really are inside, and what the word trigger, understandable, we know what it means, right? But what is it really? What is it setting off? Is it that moment, or is it taking you back to a point where you felt unheard and unseen and unloved and whatever? And that stuff has been very clear. The hard part about that is when you have conversations with people who raised you, they don't know what to say. And I don't say anything. I don't mean to, but I'll say, well, I can see where, and there'll be like silence, with my mom.
Okay.
Times. And I think that there's, it gets weird. But so, yes, you are correct in your assumption here.
Yes.
And I am the one who's going for the masters, but I'm just saying, like, if that was a little aside. That was a little aside.
I don't mean to keep siding us.
Well, no, but you're not, because here's the thing. Like, remember when Stephanie Ide would come in? She texted me out of the blue.
Yeah, I remember her. What happened to her?
Well,
she's still alive?
She's doing wonderful.
I miss her. She's a wonderful person.
She texted me out of the blue today.
She's toxically wonderful.
And
love her.
I was waiting for like a question or something. She was literally just
texting you to see how you're doing.
Just checking in. And I go, God, I fucking love that.
She's great. I do that with people too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, it's good to hear from you.
I was waiting to hear.
You never know like how you make somebody's day. I try to make somebody's day at least once a day.
Yeah, I find her very interesting and very smart. But she used to write. She would get herself. She's a person who if I'm going to describe her, and I'll do it in somewhat of a clinical sense. She's a person who thrives on deep connection. She looks for deep connection, and she gets there quickly with certain people, especially people of the opposite sex. She's looking for that. She wants that. When she didn't get it, or it blew up, what did she do?
She would write a song.
You got it. We used to write sad songs.
Yes.
We used to write sad songs. I should be careful. Well,
think about how much great music has been done because of heartbreak.
Last night, I was with my son, and he writes songs, and like we'll do
Jameson.
Yeah, he's been going to a studio and recording some stuff. So he wrote a song, and it wasn't really rapped; it was more sung. And I was sitting there, and I'm listening to it, and I said to him, "Wow," I go, "That is so emotionally raw that I could see it being a top 40 hit." It is a 16-year-old guy just laying it out. And it is a sad song. And it's amazing. I was like, it is really like, he writes very, very well. I don't know the rest of this stuff and whatever, but I was really moved by the song. Sad song. Not stalking somebody, sad song. But it was things like, I text and I see, and I see stuff online. It was all the shit we're talking about, right? But instead of driving by the house or sending another text or, sending flowers, it was, I did it in what I would say is a much healthier way.
Lincoln letter, except in a song. Right. And by the way, in no way do I ever want anybody to walk away and go, oh, he thinks this is, I don't. I'm not defending the behavior, the alleged behavior of Daddy Dave.
Daddy Dave.
Daddy Dave.
But I
that should have been the first giveaway. Daddy Dave. Who's your daddy? Who's your baby?
I have to acknowledge the human impulse underneath it. That's the shit that drives everything.
Oh, yeah, the motivation.
Right? You can be a great person, and everybody, I don't care, everybody has had a moment where they wanted answers.
Oh,
they wanted answers
regularly.
They felt betrayed. They became obsessive in a moment. They spiraled emotionally. They wanted certainty. Right? We can't.
They saw an 80s movie and thought, "Oh yeah,
I'll come out with a boombox to stand outside your house."
Or Shock the Monkey.
Yeah, it works so well in that movie. It has to work for me. But they wanted certainty, and that to me is like, because human beings can't. It's the uncertainty, right? And so that gets our emotional regulation off. And this is where I would go back to guys have never been talked to about this. Maybe women haven't either. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think so.
But most women seem to have a better control on it. Maybe they check each other when women talk to each other. Seriously, guys don't sit down and go, "Tell you what, man, I was really emotionally triggered. I was so close to putting a GPS on her car." We don't do that.
Yeah,
we've never done that.
What happened?
And this is where, honestly, as I look at, people will say to me, "What are you going to do with your degree?" And I go, "Here's what I'm going to do. I am buying a building. I am putting podcast studios in there. I am putting therapy offices. I want alternative healing, acupuncture, Reiki,
life coaching,
shaman, life coaching if you want it, I guess. But all that there.
The giant
but
within you.
My personal focus is I'd like to help adolescents and men, because and I'm not saying, like, the only term I can come up with is an underserved population. Not fair to say that. It's just a population where it wasn't popular to do this. Guys like Tony Soprano,
right? I was just going to say,
but that show's over.
Right.
And we've seen other therapy things, and it was analyzed. This was before the Sopranos and all that.
Technically, it was the same time, but yes.
So we don't really, but there is a thing, like, even just going to therapy. Do you even know how to use it? Do you know how to get into yourself to, like, figure it out? Because again, it's about you,
right?
And you don't want to be the guy that's getting a restraining order against you because you lost it in a moment and had a day where you were just over the fucking edge, and you go, fuck it, for $29.99 and a YouTube tutorial, I'm putting a GPS on her car. I got to know where she's going. Right? And then now what? Now you're labeled. Now you're toxic. And right. And it's not just him. This isn't about him. This is about
the people who would do something like that.
Anybody,
right?
I'm telling you, anybody. I don't give a crap if it's like, you could be the rich. You think Elon Musk doesn't have some kind of, come on.
Oh, bro, he's got kids all over the place.
No, but my point is, like, he hasn't tracked somebody through whatever, but he gets away with it, right?
Because he's Elon.
Right. But everybody, rich, poor, whatever, you're human.
Yes.
And you feel like no one wants to be hurt. But why? What's going on in here, and how do you settle that so you don't do this? Right. So you don't do that. That's all, because most people won't admit. But heartbreak can make otherwise rational people behave completely irrationally. That's what heartbreak does. And I mean, come on. Right down to
pretty girls in sports, Billy.
Well, I mean, and when I say it's a human behavior, it's been a human behavior for the ages. I'll go William Shakespeare and you can take Othello. You can take Romeo and Juliet. Think she's dead? Drank the poison. Really was just faking it until things passed and we could be together. I don't know. The breakups used to require you to write a sad song. Or
watch
write
an
the
80s
Lincoln
movie,
letter.
write a song.
Well, see, that's the other thing, is like, when things were over in the past, they were over. Now, if something's over, you still see the person pop up in your feed.
Yeah, that's just chapter 1.
Okay. You know what I mean? I got to think that Find My Friends on your iPhone or whatever. I think there may be an app maybe on your version. What do you have? The Droid? Android?
I have Android. Yeah, I'm a loser.
No.
All my texts come up in green.
They do.
It ruins everybody's day.
That's fine.
I'm the old guy now.
But okay. But I'm just saying, like, that probably has broken up more relationships than actual cheating has. Because the other person may not be doing anything. They're just going to the gym, or really had to work late a couple nights in a row. And now they're feeling like, and who wants to be that person?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, years ago, relationships ended cleaner. They just did. Now you've got people, we're digitally attached forever. I get to see the locations. I see what likes you get.
Oh, when I first started dating my wife.
Follows you, what your stories are saying. Oh, my God. Who viewed what? You know what I mean?
When I first started dating my wife, a guy that, like, she had dated a while ago before that, all of a sudden, like, saw that she was at my house. I'm like, how would he know that?
Yeah.
And it was through, like, Snapchat or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So Here's a thought that just popped in my head. Social media, it creates phantom arms because the relationship still lives in your pocket, right? With all that shit you just said. Like, I can see it everywhere I go. You're broken up, but it still lives in your pocket because I can see you. I can know what you're doing. I can see you having a good time without me. And I just think like the hardest part of modern relationships is nobody ever really leaves anymore. They don't really leave. They've left you, but you can still see them. And that's the weird part.
Yeah, it's
the weird part.
The devil has us right where he wants us.
Well, we yes, because look, what do we want in life? Heroes and villains. Heroes can become villains, right?
Was it Harvey Dent who said in Batman, you don't die, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain?
Yes.
Look at Rudy Giuliani. 30 years ago,
100%.
This guy could have been president of the United States.
100%. 100%.
That is a perfect example.
Yes.
Bill Cosby.
And that has nothing to do.
By the way, Giuliani's not a bad dude.
No, that has nothing to do with really anything terrible that Giuliani did. However, I would say that Bill, if Bill's not toxic, he made other people toxic by slipping something in their drink and actually getting them.
I'm going to give you the most splendiferous pudding pop you've ever had. Jello.
Well, look, we struggle. Well, I think as a society, right? Because like I said, we like that. You can call it black and white, good, the villain, the hero, the toxic, the innocent, the monster, the victim. But good people can still do unhealthy things.
Yes, the best of men are men at best.
Yes. And so some of the worst decisions people make happen during emotional desperation. They're not evil. Emotional desperation, you're reaching out, you don't understand something, maybe you're intoxicated too. That doesn't help. And it does not, please understand me, it does not excuse the behavior. That is not what I'm saying.
No.
But I think it explains humanity.
Yeah. It's like Chris Rock once said about O.J. Simpson. I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand.
Yeah, I can understand that.
By the way, the song Every Breath You Take by the Police.
Yeah.
You know what year that came out? 1984.
What did? Oh, yeah.
What was the Orwell book? 1984.
Yeah.
That's definitely got nothing to do with anything. I just want to throw that out.
Yeah, but look, every, I'll say every guy, maybe every person, but every guy listening to this podcast.
Fellas, pay attention.
You're pretending you're above this.
I'm doing it right now.
While simultaneously knowing whose Instagram you were peeping at 1:15 on Saturday morning. You know what I mean? That is it's just how it is.
Well, I wasn't doing that.
No, I know.
But old Dan would have been doing that.
Well, look, you know what was great?
The heck with you.
You know,
I miss you so much though.
What was used to be, and I see this with my own kids, right? One's in a relationship, pretty serious relationship. And I see things and I try to, I don't know what to say sometimes, right? But I'm not saying that these things are unhealthy. It's just modern times. But you used to have a little bit of mystery. Phones have taken away the mystery. I know what's going on. I can see it. Maybe I don't, but I'm getting something that's feeding that insecurity in me, right? I got something that's helping. And I thought, as I thought about this, I go, mystery used to help people do that proverbial heal, get over somebody, because you didn't know where they were. You didn't know who they were with. You didn't know when they got home. You didn't know all this stuff. And I'm not saying that everybody is posting, but I think younger people do. And I sometimes can also see where this stuff can be sort of weaponized toward one person. You know what I mean? If you see somebody all of a sudden, posting a ton of stuff, then maybe that's the case. I don't know.
Vague booking?
Not vague booking, but I'm saying like all of a sudden they're like, they're everywhere. They're in Vegas.
I see the opposite. Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
hanging with my new boo.
Well, not even hanging with my new boo, but just I'm still living my life. And I go, as I'm thinking about that.
That's what Josh Allen's ex was doing, like, after they broke up. She was, like, everywhere in these scantily clad dresses on Instagram, showing off her, you know what, especially the day he got married.
Okay, so this is sort of what I'm saying. And as I'm saying it, I go, I've posted a lot more, but I have a social media person, and like it or not,
She stalks for you. Just joking.
I have a social media person who will send me a reminder. You got to post more. You got to post more. I need this. I need something. I have to do something tonight because I got another message. You needed to get that to me. But that's why that's why you have these people, right? Because this is a brand, and to some extension, I am a little bit of a brand.
Oh, Billy.
No, I don't mean to sound like I don't mean to sound like an asshole at all. But I'm just saying, it's
Bill Moran.
I know these words.
I'm joking with you.
No, it's not you. It's not you. But these words will come back to haunt me. I know they will. But I say that because I started
Sponsored by Connors and Ferris.
I did all my Watkins Glen stuff and all this thing, but it was part of it was like, yeah, it's part of your brand. Show people want to be part of something. You've created Billified. Let's get that to grow. These are the meetings I'm in. So, but when it comes to Heartbreak wasn't meant to have live updates, guys. It just wasn't. And that's where, oh my God, I just remembered something. Holy Christ. There's somebody I grew up with who
Flame Brain.
Oh, he just reached out last week and I didn't call him back.
Bro, what's the matter with you?
I was at Watkins Glen and then my week has exploded. So I will get back to Flame Brain. Love Flame Brain.
Meister Chow.
You remember that?
Dude, I'm like one of the apostles, man. Every story you and Tommy have ever I could write out.
Was my friend that I was in high school with. He was going in the Army and he had fallen in love with this girl from like Rhinebeck, where my mom lives now. And they were getting married and everybody thought it was a terrible idea. As you can imagine, the marriage did not last.
Yeah, been there.
And he, so we're walking down the aisle and his cousins are like, you can still walk out, dude. Like people are saying this. And I have a pit in my stomach. Like, honest to God, I'm going, I don't know what's going to happen. And he says to me, if I step on your foot, follow me out of the church. Like, that's what he says as we're standing up waiting for her to come down the aisle. And I'm like, oh my God. And, and I'm not even 18 yet. I'm 17. I'm 17 years old. I'm
just
like,
got my blue license.
My balls just dropped. I'm like, I don't even know. So I'm standing there. I'm going, oh my God. And then we kneel down to pray.
It was in the Catholic church, right?
It wasn't. It was in it wasn't a Catholic church.
But it was one of those churches where you kneel to pray.
Well, for whatever reason, we were down kneeling to pray, or maybe we were standing. For some reason in my memory, we're down, and it was just like when, if you ever watched Wedding Crashers and Will Ferrell at the end where he shows up. Well, he's at the funeral, but
this is the wedding.
Yeah, and he's going,
the two chicks out hanging out.
You got it. And that's exactly
in the midst of death brings life.
So this is 1989. It is like June or July 1989, weeks before my 18th birthday, and we get down to pray, and I'm like, and all of a sudden he goes, Meister Chow. like he did it. Like I did it. I went through with it. Like this was the coolest thing in the world. And I go, oh.
How long did it last?
Geez, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Meister Chow.
Yeah, Meister Chow. Because we used to drink Meister Brow because it was easy to get.
Yeah.
And yes. Yeah. Such a shit.
Hysterical.
I'd love to taste it today. Meister Brow. Do they still make it?
I think they do, actually.
Yeah, I bet
they still make Golden Annie.
I never even heard of it.
Golden Anniversary.
Oh, Golden Anniversary. You probably could find it at a place like Beers of the World, but I would
they
love.
Closed.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's why the place in the basin does all this great beers now. They were building that up.
Oh, okay.
And they must have known something. I don't know. Just yeah. I can't imagine if we had stuff. I can't imagine.
Like I tell people,
if we had the technology we have
the
now.
80s and 90s was like the greatest time to be alive. Now, I can't talk about the 50s and 60s. I wasn't there.
Right.
But as far as my lifetime goes, I think every generation says that their generation was the best. But in the 80s and 90s, we had just enough technology. Just enough.
Right. Okay. So there's, we'll wrap this up.
I'm sorry.
Get into something lighter, but I want to say something because I said gut and intuition, but sometimes, that's the same gut that saw a typo and turned it into she's cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's a typo and now the person's cheating. And the problem with any kind of obsession, right, or emotional dysregulation is no answer's ever enough, man. It's just not enough, right? I need some kind of proof to this, or I need,
or that word closure.
Or even if you get even if you don't find what you're looking for, that's never enough. You're going to keep going, and that's where you break things up, because I think that when you're emotionally dysregulated, and I think every human being at some point has been emotionally dysregulated in some way, I think the one thing you want, if I can just know enough, I'll finally feel safe, right? If I can just know enough that no one's going to break into my house again, that I'm never going to get in another car accident, that I'm never going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want it to just be that. And I'm thinking like, so when you do what this guy has a restraining order and was arrested for, it never comes. Tracking someone never comes.
It just feeds.
Yeah.
I don't want to use a big word like psychosis, but it feeds
it. Yeah. It feeds it. Yeah. I mean, and that's why I'm saying this story isn't really about some reality star from Street Outlaws. I think it's about what happens when heartbreak, insecurity, technology, and obsession in a moment collide.
It's called the perfect storm.
You got it. That's exactly what it is. Because to me, human beings were never designed to have this much access to each other after a relationship cracks apart. You just weren't. It wasn't meant to be that way. And sometimes people don't want closure. They want control. Disguised as closure. And I don't know that having control is necessarily bad if it's control of you, control of your emotions. And that's where I think in particular men don't know how to do that and don't even know how to learn it. And I would love to help people figure that out as I'm figuring it out myself.
Was this daddy dude? Was he married to this person?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It doesn't say. I don't know him.
The marriage might complicate, because I could give you we could both give advice, but when it's marriage, it's kind of difficult. But it doesn't sound like they were married. I
have no idea. I don't know. It very well could be. It doesn't list like a wife. It just says someone. Doesn't even say it's a woman. Right?
Oh,
it doesn't say that.
Okay.
So I'm inserting that stuff because I think that's usually where it happens one way or the other, by the way. Yeah. Women have probably done this stuff kind of too. I mean, look, the scariest part about modern technology and a modern obsession is you can do it from your couch.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I see where they are. It's like, okay, whoa.
A reality show celebrity got dirty in Bath.
We'll take a moment.
13 Whams Jane Flash is live from Bath. I miss her. She was great.
Her husband is a big fan of the podcast.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he reaches out often.
She was like the investigative reporter
to end
investigative report. Well, yeah. I mean, I love Berkeley and I love Brett Davidson. They're all great. They're all great. But she was, she's fantastic.
I just ran into Berkeley the other day.
How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's doing really well.
Do they have more than one kid now?
No, I don't think so. We didn't spend a lot of time. I was heading to an appointment. He was heading back to a deadline. So we just crossed paths briefly and spoke. And then actually I made the person five minutes late for their next appointment because yeah, it was one of those. And who was the other one you mentioned? Jane Flash's husband.
Okay,
will reach out to me. Loves the podcast. I guess I could say his name, Brian Maslin.
Is that who her husband is?
Yeah. And
he's important or something, is he? He's like an important guy.
He has his own video company and stuff. He's been doing for years. He's a very talented guy. He's in a band and yeah.
So is Brett Davidson.
Yeah, I know. And he's wanted to go for beers for quite a while.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
that's Flame Brain and Brian Maslin that you got to like reconnect with.
yes,
And Berkeley. Brett, all the reporters. We were cool with all of them.
Should I try to reach out to Rachel?
I campaigned for her once, and she was great to work with.
Here's something that I've been thinking about a lot. I don't know why. I don't know. It's weird. It was mostly today because I saw something and I went, money. Like we hear that money heals all wounds. Money's the root of all evil. But money can.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Okay, but money can change things, right?
Yes, definitely.
But I went, I think that money changes the branding of behavior. I'll call it that. The brand, how we brand it, how we call it. One thing when it's almost back to your Pierce Brosnan,
Robin Williams. I think I know where you're going with this.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that right after this. I got them can't cross the street blues.
By the way, slide guitar is so hard to play.
Yeah.
I tried playing.
Use a glass bottle or use the actual slide?
No, you can use a glass. You have to use glass or metal.
They sell the metal.
Yeah, you can't use. I try using a prescription bottle. It doesn't work.
What?
Because the strings catch on the plastic prescription.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not the same.
Why would you?
Because I want to see if it would work. I don't have a slide. So I have to go get a bottle.
Get a bottle. That's how the old blues guys did it. Yeah.
Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Chappelle Show.
Oh, God. I just laughed so hard. I think a lung almost came out. Somebody we used to know, Danny's telling me, can I say it?
Go ahead.
Person got hit by a car in a hit and run in another city. Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
Awful.
People help defray the medical costs.
Mm-hmm.
And then
which is wonderful.
Right. And then the person wanted to go to a conference, so was back on the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
But the conference was about people who were like hit by cars, right?
Yeah.
And I said,
people were like accidentally injured, like those types of. Like,
and I go, what's it called? Look both ways. I was like, it's like, this is the shit that went on
in
like,
your head.
In my head all the time. It's a curse, buddy. It's a curse. I cannot. It's a curse. Like all the time. All the time.
We know a guy who we love dearly. He's no longer with us. Who wanted $10,000 to start a podcast about people dealing with the same thing that he was dealing with. And for those of us who worked with him know that he used to talk a lot about how much money he had to retire and all this other stuff.
He wanted what?
He wanted 10 grand to start a podcast about people going through with what he went through before he died.
Before he died.
Before he died. Yeah. And the rest of us were like, okay, we love you, man. But
was it our?
Yes.
It was him?
You need 10 grand to start a podcast? Yes.
Oh.
You don't remember this? Oh, yeah. This is all over Instagram and Facebook.
No, I must
Well,
not.
Tommy and I had like a riot talking about. Well, Tommy had a riot talking about.
I must not have seen. I must not have followed the person.
Because
I know who you mean.
You definitely follow.
Well, yeah, but okay. See, I will say this. Like, here's where you never have to worry about me stalking you. Not that I wouldn't get emotionally dysregulated in a moment. Have a little bit of heartbreak and maybe text you too often in one night. But it'll end after that. I will never do that again. Right?
Yes.
I probably will never do it. Now.
It's a moa culpa.
Okay. But a moa culpa. But I don't check. I don't look at it. You know what I do? I post the things now because I used to edit the video. Now she edits them, and I sends it right in a drive to me, and I'll download the ones I want, and I put them on the social media. I don't stop and look at anybody else's social media. I should, I guess.
Well, this is like years ago.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but there I was doing. I never.
Yeah, he wanted $10,000 to start a podcast.
That makes me.
We were like, wait a minute. This is the same dude who said, "Yeah, I came to Rochester. I had enough money to retire." He was driving an Acura. Yeah, it's like $700 a month for a lease.
Okay,
You're leasing that thing?
Wow. Yeah. I know a lot of people would like.
I was excited about all the great things that were going on in Rochester.
$800.
And you needed a job. It's fine. We all do. Yeah, I took a job $60,000 less than what I'm worth to come here. That's why we're all like, okay, you need $10,000 to start a podcast? Most people just grab a microphone.
See, this so this was the boss.
Yes.
That we had.
The one we liked.
Right.
The one we loved.
And
the one.
I could Danny's like, I feel like I'm never mind. I would sit in these meetings and I would hear everything everybody else did, but I would take out what I thought was valuable that I could use to make me better and the show better. And so the other stuff never annoyed me because I just was like glossed over it. Everybody
it never annoyed us. It just made us laugh.
No, but I mean, come on. There would be chapter and verse. And then there were times where I'm like, I didn't hear him say that because whatever thing he said, I went, oh, I could do boom, 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 boom. And I missed the next 3 sentences.
Where Tommy and I would be like, bro, he made that much money, bro, in Savannah. That's bull crap, bro. I've lived in Savannah, okay?
Great city, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Great city. You ever notice, though, because you're right, well, people with money, if you talk about how much money you have, you don't have any money.
Yeah.
You know, it's like always the
one
people.
Time Moose went to his house. He goes, I thought you were richer than this.
Well, okay. Rich people and poor people do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
They do a lot.
It's a great tie-in, Billy.
But they do a lot of the same things. But when rich people do it, there's a magazine article about it or an online, I don't know, some kind of expose online. You
in
get the
Stepmom magazine.
Yes. When poor people do it, we get a police report. That's how it works, right? Like the same behavior gets interpreted differently based on your
social strata.
Well, I'm going to say your socioeconomic status.
Yeah.
Yes, right? Because poor person living out of their car, right? We love the story when someone's no longer living out of their car. Think of Jewel, right? But living out of their car. And somebody else who's doing it, they're a van life entrepreneur.
You're going to end up living in a van down by the river when you're living in a van down by the river.
Right. My favorite, this is always my favorite. Now, I don't know that the term is necessarily, as my father would say, gauche.
Gauche?
Yeah. You never heard the word gauche?
No.
Kind of,
but I'm not surprised that it came from your father.
Gross, and that was a word we don't be gauche.
Don't be gauche, young Maranimal.
But I would say day drinking, poor people, rich people,
Moscow Mule,
wine tasting,
yes,
or sampling,
yes,
right? Am I not all right? It's the same thing, right?
I remember when I was living on Harvard Street. There about every Friday, about 3:00. I used to work outside in the summer on my porch because I could.
Yeah.
Every Friday, 3:00. These two older ladies with Moscow Mules. You could tell because they had the copper. Walking around the neighborhood. I'm like, you know what, ladies? I get it.
Sure.
I get it.
Yeah. What about people arguing in public, and then if they're rich, they're just a passionate family?
Oh yeah. If it's at the mall, at the Nordstrom, it's just passion. But if it's at Target, phones come out and you're expecting a wig to come off.
Right. Okay. Here, I got another one for you. I like this one. Ramen noodles. Poor.
Or college.
Yeah. Or okay. But well,
poor.
Rich. They are
faux.
No, they're deconstructing the Japanese broth experience.
Oh, is that what they call it now?
I don't know. All right.
My wife wants to, you want to go get pho? I go, You can just make ramen noodles if that's what you want. All it is, it's like the markup on that stuff on noodles is like 7,000%.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
What are you getting out of that? But sodium.
I know, but that's right. Okay.
But it's sophisticated if it's with chopsticks.
Listen, if I say to you, I'm going to be serving hot dogs, you'd be like, all right. What if I said artisanal sausages?
Is that what they call them?
Artisanal sausages.
Not cocktail wieners?
I'm just saying. Right? I mean,
artisanal sausages.
Yeah. Right? A poor guy.
Served at Artisan Works.
A poor guy microwaves noodles and society worries about him. His mom's all sweating. Oh, my God, does he have enough food? And a rich guy eats tiny portions off slate plates and gets a Netflix show.
Yeah, I know. Is that weird?
Yeah. Somebody who drinks alone on a Tuesday night.
Drunk.
Yeah. If you're rich, it's called a private bourbon tasting.
Yes.
It's what we've had.
You got the snifter glass.
You're
out on your porch with your cigar. You got your smoking jacket. You got a whole jacket. You got a whole routine going on.
Drunk at noon. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Rich person.
3-hour cocktail.
Bottomless brunch.
No, it's the Madison Avenue, Billy. The 3-cocktail lunch. We're going to come up with an idea for these Marlboro cigarettes.
Well, come on, man. Rich people have turned alcohol into a lifestyle.
Oh,
brand.
yeah.
I mean, alcoholism, in a sense. I mean, they've turned it into a lifestyle.
We've created the term functional alcoholic to describe rich people who are just as alcoholic as poor people who are alcoholic.
Right.
But there's a difference between whiskey and scotch or wine and Budweiser.
If you're broke and drinking champagne at 11 a.m., your family's worried about you. If you're rich and you're doing it, it's called a vineyard tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or brunch.
That's it. Right. Yeah.
I'm having a brunch. With yourself?
You're
on Tuesday?
You get in a fight.
Where's your eggs?
You get in a fight with your spouse. You can't go to a hotel for the night. You sleep on the front porch. You're poor.
Yeah.
Rich people, it's called cold exposure. That's what they like to do. Right? Intermittent fasting for rich people, can't afford food.
For poor people, you can't afford food.
Can't afford
For rich
food.
people, it's intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting, right.
I'm skipping meals.
Yeah. You're poor, right? You got to walk everywhere. If I'm rich, I'm getting my steps in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just funny because I go, poor people spend years trying to look rich, while I feel rich people now spend thousands trying to almost look homeless at times. And some of these clothes, I mean, I see the stuff that Jameson is going to, you're talking $500 to $1,000 for a sweatshirt.
Well, remember in the 90s?
And they look homeless in it.
In the 90s, the grunge bands had a huge issue with Tommy Hilfiger, which was a popular designer in the 90s, taking grunge clothes that like they would get, like the bands would get at the Salvation Army or at a thrift store, and putting the Tommy Hilfiger logo on them, and all of a sudden calling it and charging like $3,000 for the jacket.
Yes.
You know, and making it, or taking jeans from Abercrombie and dragging them through the Delaware River.
You got it.
And jacking the price up 5 times.
Right. And it's the same thing. Look, clothes are I had a teacher who was my favorite teacher of all time, Doug McNeil. Some people absolutely hated him. I loved him. He would wear a lab coat, even though he was a
history professor.
Yeah, he was a history teacher in high school, and he wore a lab coat every day because he would say, I would rather spend my money on good food and an experience than clothes. As I've gotten older, I would say that I like nicer clothes. It's weird. I do too. I like what you would call, because somebody said something to me about a shirt I was wearing over the weekend, and they go, wow, I really like this thing. And I said, yeah, I go, it's not a brand anybody knows. I go, but it's quiet luxury. And the guy goes, I love that. And I said, yeah, I do too. I look for those things if I'm going to get fancy, but I like little nice like this. It's got a little leather.
The Peyton Manning quarter zip collection.
The quarter zip, but it's got a leather tassel on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, those are the
air dry, Billy. Don't throw it in the washing machine.
The people are going to fucking shit all over me for this. It's just, I don't know. It's what I like.
Well, I mean,
I'm never going to fuck this, man. I'm going to be 55 years old. I'm doing whatever I want.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
I guess that's true.
You know, I mean, when I go to church,
sometimes
I want to look
that.
good, but I don't want to have to tuck my shirt in. So I wear fancier shirts so I don't have to tuck it in. I hate tucking in my clothes. I hate wearing ties.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I tuck in some shirts.
Some
shirts I tuck in, some shirts I don't.
By the way, little known secret, untuckit.com, not worth the money. It's a joke.
Yeah, I never bought an Untuckit shirt.
They're garbage. Just go to Kohl's. Seriously.
Yeah. I have my favorite shirts.
Do you?
Yeah.
I do too.
Oh, fuck. I can't say anything.
Why?
Because I'm not. The ones I really like are from Britain, and I also like Vineyard and Vine.
Vineyard and Vine clothing. If it's good enough for an animal, it's good enough for you. No, seriously, when I go out, I want to look good for my boo.
Your crazy aunt who talks to herself.
She's nuts.
Okay.
If it's your crazy aunt.
Well, I'm just
saying. However, if you're a rich person.
Poor, what is she? Okay. What?
Wait, are we like? There's a lot of middle class people who like kind of like blur the lines with some of these.
But what would we call someone who's of means versus someone without means who does the same thing?
Asking themselves the right questions.
No, they're eccentric.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that may be a little bit, but
I see what you're saying.
Yes. Right. You got somebody who has like a complete, like, I think, what was the term? My grandmother used to, my nerves are getting at me. Basically,
agita?
No, that's
Italian's like
that's indigestion.
Okay.
But the emotional breakdown, like, right? But somebody else is finding themselves in Tibet. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You just have more money.
Well, a midlife crisis versus finding themselves.
Yes, right. Money gives people the luxury of calling dysfunction a lifestyle choice. That's what it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know, if you're poor, you have a gambling problem. If you're rich, you're a venture capitalist.
If you're spending $5,000 a night on coke, you don't have a coke problem. Who said that? I don't even know who said that, but somebody said that.
I don't know.
Maybe Chris Rock or somebody.
Oh, it might have been. If you're, well, see, here's the other one. If you're asking your family for money, you're usually poor. If you come from a rich family, you're raising capital to start that podcast you wanted to spend $10,000 on.
Oh, well, no, that's a great one. Corporate welfare, right? You know, people don't want to give their money to, they don't want to pay taxes on people for welfare causes, which I totally understand. But let's give the Buffalo Bills $600 million to build a monstrosity that's only going to be used 10 times a year. I mean, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's okay when it's the Bills. Actually, it's not.
No,
but
yes.
I know money's earmarked, but it all comes from the same place.
Right. But okay. But let's say a poor guy has 6 roommates, right?
Yeah.
A rich person calls that a weekend in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that
it's called entourage.
Yes, right. Like we judge behavior less than we judge the presentation of the behavior. That's what it is.
Right.
That's why you see some people get away with it, right? You could have, if you're poor, you have baby drama. If you're rich, you have a succession battle. Who's taking over, right? You got just as many people pregnant.
Yeah, like Elon Musk has 12 kids scattered over how many women?
Yeah.
Now, if that's Travis Henry, bro, are you serious?
But
9 kids with 9 moms. But with Elon Musk, he's just spreading his seed. They ain't gonna afford it.
Someone yelling at their kids in public. So
trash.
If you're rich, trash. It's usually at Walmart.
Yeah.
If you're rich and that happens, it's probably not happening at Walmart. And they just have an aggressive parenting style.
Yes.
That's all. It's just a little different. You know, they come from a different age. This is his 3rd wife. He's older.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
If you do it with style.
Yeah. Well, what did I always say to you?
Yes.
Right?
Like the time your father got caught drinking at St. Jeff Fisher, but they were all in snifters.
Yes,
it was scotch.
yes.
They were dressed up.
You got
and
it.
So they were like, oh.
Right.
It was sophisticated.
Cheating scandal, poor person.
Mm-hmm.
Open marriage journey.
Yeah, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
There you go.
We had some entanglements. That's what she called it. Entanglements.
Can you think of anything?
Not cheating, entanglements.
That instantly sounds richer if you rename it. Something that instantly sounds richer if you rename it.
Okay, here's a great example.
Yeah.
At Augusta, they don't have trash. They don't have garbage. They have debris.
Okay. Right. Yes. Right.
They're in the Masters. You can't say garbage. It's debris.
Uh-huh. And then I'm trying to think of like what poor behavior becomes classy.
Record collecting.
Yeah. Or if you have money, it becomes class. Well, hey, I know guys. You mean like vinyl record collecting? Yeah. Okay. I know guys who have vinyl listening rooms built for vinyl acoustically. I know 3 guys I know that have that in their house. 2 of them I have been in. 1 I have not. And it sounds great, but I don't, but they're designed that way, built. So that's a record collection. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, I have a record collection, but it's not real big. I have a record player.
Well, what if you went and they tried this as a reality show with Paris Hilton, right? Where they would put her in like poor situations and they do that.
Yeah, they had like she had to work some jobs.
Yes.
They're the Kardashians before the Kardashians.
Right. So what like behavior from rich people would look absolutely insane in a trailer park?
Tennis.
I guess that would look really funny.
15 love. Or is it 1-0? Hey, hold up that net.
It is weird. Like I often think of like the rich and poor, and I always think they're closer together because I would
badminton.
The what drove that point home to me many years ago was my brother at one point had a girlfriend that they were together for a while that he had met at Cornell, and her dad was extremely wealthy.
Oh, of course.
And he would fly in privately to Ithaca sometimes to tutor because every child was going to Cornell. I think every but one went to Cornell. And
can we sing the alma mater? Family?
So my brother, and he lived in the same neighborhood as Letterman. But the parents had separated and they had all the kids were mostly with mom, and they were all of college age at this point. So he went
top 10 sides you're dating a woman whose father's a pretentious douche.
Well, I don't know that he was. I never met him.
No, but the Letterman tie-in.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying like that was the neighborhood, right? So my brother says that they went over to visit him at his house, and they're driving up kind of this long driveway, and he goes, tucked away in the trees is like a decaying Porsche. There's another car, like all these cars. So I go, oh my God. It's just like every poor person that we make fun of, but they're rich, and oh my God, that's a vintage car he's got on his lawn. Right. Like nobody's like judging, but the guy did the same thing. He just let it sit in his yard. That's when I went, oh my God. The difference with rich and poor is basically, at the time I was calling it labeling. Now we call it branding. Branding. And I remember thinking that as soon as my brother told me, I go, man, that is, because like every rich person's going to give you a TED talk or it feels like it, right? We know some, right? And, in there, I'm experimenting with mobile minimalism. That's why I'm sleeping in my car. And let me tell you what I learned while I was doing this.
Yeah, I did this for 30 days. Here's what happened. Oh, gosh.
No, money doesn't eliminate weirdness. It upgrades it. It upgrades the way you get to talk about it, the packaging on it. That's what it does. And at the end of the day, I would say rich people and poor people are way more alike than anybody would really want to admit. Because everybody is stressed. Everybody's pretending. Everybody's trying to look more successful than they feel. Rich people just have, I don't know, better lighting for all of it. I'm not really sure, right? You break down in a Honda, it's concerning. You break down in a yacht, we turn it into a documentary. I mean, that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Next week we will have one of our friends who is very involved with the Buffalo Bills talking about an event that he's thrown for everybody to attend.
Everybody.
And I know that
rich, poor,
he's
Budweiser, or
he's been to some of the Sabres games, and they won last night. I know
in
when
Montreal.
we're taping this. Yeah, that was big. That was big. That was a fun game to watch.
That was a fun game to watch, especially that accidental goal in the second period.
Goal
It's
helped.
like, what?
Made everything. It made everything. Take that
They have
shot.
changed
Just take that shot, baby. There was a couple of great
That's
shots
the turning
the
point.
Sabres
If
had,
they
but
go
kept
all the
hitting
way,
post.
that's the turning point of their postseason. Was that accidental goal? Not
Yeah.
the fights the night before, which are ridiculous.
So we'll have that for you next week. Also coming up next week, we will have Michael Tandoy,
Okay.
who is does a podcast that is produced by Bill Moran Productions. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's
Yeah, Bill Moran Production.
yeah, it's
In association with Merv Griffin Enterprise.
Tandoy has a show that we produce. Built by Chaos. I was struggling to come up with the name. Built from Chaos. A great podcast. Very interesting guy. He'll be on, and we'll see what other fun things come our way.
Looking forward to it.
That's right. For Dan Barillo, who's not pretending, is emotionally stable, and is one rich mofo.
Yeah.
I'm Bill Moran.
I'm not toxic.
There you go. I'm Bill Moran. I'm not toxic unless I eat toxic food.
Yeah.
And then look out. Taco Bell, baby. That's a poor man's dish.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see you
Rich people eat mighty tacos.
next time.
Cadillac with Tennessee bling.